Yesterday I was clever, wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. Let go of who you are, become who you might be. Let your life become living poetry. You were born with wings, your heart knows the way. It's your road to walk, and yours alone. You'll be a lion, you'll be the deer, be like a tree, let the dead leaves fall, let your life become living poetry. You were born with wings, your heart knows the way.
Hey, welcome in everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome in. Thank you to all the knockouts who contributed to the music fund. Thank you all so much. We have licensed music back. So I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy. So I wanted to welcome you all in. Yeah, I know. I'm so happy about that. It makes it feel more like how things used to be. So thank you all so much for coming in. We are just getting started. I had a question that was on my mind. And so I wanted to ask you all to get your opinion on this, because this seems like a controversial topic for some reason, and I don't know why it's controversial. So let's go ahead and jump into the topic of the day. So welcome in everybody, welcome. I'm your host, Tonya TKO, and I'm a self-love specialist from TonyaTKO.com. I'm trying to get onto my seat without falling off today. All right, so welcome. All right, let's talk about it real quick. So the question of today's broadcast is, would you rather have a long relationship, a happy relationship, or one where you didn't know the difference? Which would you rather have, right? How would you rather things go or come about in terms of your romantic relationship? If you want me to open up the phone lines, just put up the number 1 if you are ready and prepared to call in and you have an opinion about this. Part of what has brought this up is I've had something on my mind for the past few days. And it's something that's very near and dear to my heart. I know someone who was in a relationship. And in this relationship, this person thought that their partner was happy. They spent a lot of time together. They were inseparable, sun up to sundown. They could spend countless unending hours together. And then one day, it turns out that the partner was not happy and decided to make a different choice, right? And so I was thinking about, how could someone be in a relationship and think that they're happy, or think that their partner is happy? So then the person is happy, but they don't know what's going on with their partner deep inside. So spiritual is saying, for me, I'll only accept a happy relationship because I'm happy, single woman now. Okay. And Miss is saying, look how good the setup is. It's a little junky back there because I was eating. The bed is not really fully made, but we're here now. So thank you. I appreciate that. I Looking at it in the background, I definitely know that I must pick up and clean up before I go live because I like for it to look neat. But nonetheless, so the question still remains. Danira says, I'd rather be happy. Okay. But in the one where you don't know the difference, you are happy. You are happy. And then why would you want to know that your partner is not happy? And then what will you do about that? Especially if, so then I guess there's a few different questions. Why would a person stay in a relationship if they were unhappy? Not unhappy, but not fulfilled, not receiving what it is that they need in the relationship. Why would they stay? And I was thinking about this particularly because of the person that I know. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And because of some of the interviews that I did in the manosphere. When I was doing interviews of men in the manosphere, the general consensus seemed to be that the relationships of the past were better relationships because they lasted longer. And when I was doing those interviews, I kept my mouth shut. I just really allowed them to talk. And I'm like, okay, so the relationship lasted long because the person couldn't leave. Or let's talk about men who are unhappy in relationships and they stay. We have Jonathan in the house who is male. Jonathan. We have BU who is, or is that B? What is that? Bayi? Bay. We have Bay who's in the house who is male. We have Robert in the house who's male. Why would a man stay in a relationship if this person is not what he wants? Why would he do that? Why would he not just go get what he wants? Is it that what he wants is not available to him at this stage in his life? So that he's now taking up and occupying the time of a person who who is unsuspecting. Um Coach is saying these men be the real gold diggers. Oh my gosh, shots fired. What's going on? Okay, let's see what some of these comments are. All right. So Spiritual says, in my past relationship, I would ask my boyfriend at the time if he was happy being with me and if there were things that we should change about our relationship. Looking back, we shouldn't have been in together. Okay, listen, that's a great point. And you know what? I guess I guess something else that kind of brings this up for me is be ye childlike. Oh, be ye childlike. Okay, okay. I want to understand this too, why they stay in a relationship when they're unhappy. You know what I think has brought this in on my mind, right? I have a relationship, or I had a relationship with a person who was doing some work for me, right? I met this person on a platform and I've been in a relationship with this person for a few years, right? And things seem to be going well, except over the holiday season, he kind of disappeared. He told me that he was not well, that he had some things going on with his family, that and all of this other stuff, right? And how do I make a long story short on this one? Well, to make a long story short, the person went MIA. I'm writing to the person. I'm do all of this stuff, right? And then just recently, I I went back onto the platform that I met this person on a few years ago. And apparently this person, during the time that he was saying that he wasn't well, that he had things going on with his family, that he had all of these things going on, right? During this time, I see that there are reviews and submissions for other projects that he was working on, while he was telling me that he had all of these things go what he had going on was other people's work, right? And I was really hurt by it because I'm like, I gave him plenty of opportunities for us to talk and discuss so that I could make sure that he was getting what it is that he needed in this relationship, that he was getting paid he said he was happy with the pay. He's when I tried to give him more money, he didn't want more money. And yet and still, he still was not truthful and forthright about where it is that he was, what it is that he needed, and what and how he navigated in our relationship. Someone is saying Mia saying something. Hold on, let's see. Um CM is saying, I prioritize truth over all else. I would never want to be unaware, even if I'm ignorantly happy. Ignorance can be dangerous and put you in situations where you are unknowingly a target. Yes, Mia must have said something that I didn't see above, but I totally feel you on that. I feel you on that. And so there's a part of me that's wondering so he also said that he never wanted to complain because he wanted XYZ, etc. And I'm like, I wasn't even the relationship that I thought I had with him was not real. Because when I gave him opportunities to speak the truth, apparently he didn't speak it. And on this platform, you can see what other people are, what the projects cost, right? And I see that these other projects that they were paying more money, but rather than telling me that he wanted or needed more money, he actually he told me everything was fine, that he was happy, that he was pleased and all this other stuff. But then when all was said and done, he did not do the work that he was contracted to do, right? So, okay, so B Yi is saying, man, as a man, lots of us are cowards. Um, right? So is that it? Is it that men are just cowardly? But then also, why not tell the truth? Why would a person hide what the truth is? Why would a person Um, so someone says fear of the unknown. Okay. And then, this also made me think of a relationship that I had way back in the days where I thought I was happy with someone and so in that relationship, I thought, well, maybe if this person was receiving intimacy or whatnot, maybe they would stay in the relationship to have continuous intimacy and not really ruffle too many feathers because they wanted the intimacy to continue. But then, was I even in a relationship with a person who was the person I was in the relationship with? Because the reality is that the person did not speak up with what it is that they truly needed, or they had some other set of needs that were unbeknownst to me. So, what are your thoughts about this? We have Jonathan, we have Robert, we have a few men in the house. If you're a man, put up the number 2. Let me see how many male beings we have in the building. Let's see. Um, Luli is saying manipulation. Jasmine is saying some aren't mature enough to effectively communicate. Hannah says fear of the unknown. Um, Desi says he should have just been a man about it and been honest. Stop being cowardly. Beauty says most people want their cake and eat it too to keep options at arm's length. Is that what it is? So then I wonder. Um, it seems from what it is that I have found out, looks like let's see. All right. So B Yi is a man. We know that. Um, oh, Desi is a man. Oh, okay. So we saw Desi's answer above, but then where is the why? And then also I want to ask you as men, would you rather be happy? Would you rather your relationship be happy? Would you rather it be long term? Or would you rather not know the difference? right? So I guess my question boils down to two different things. Um, when I was talking with the men in the manosphere, the general consensus that I got is that they would rather the relationship be long, that relationships are not really meant to be happy, that happiness is an illusion anyway, that happiness is fleeting, happiness comes and goes. But if you make a commitment, you stay in that commitment come what may. And that is the way many of them thought about it. They said that a woman's happiness is really a non issue, that you shouldn't have to worry about whether or not you're happy. So we have a few men in the house. We have Negus, who is also a man. So please, men, answer the question, and then women, why would we stay in a relationship? I know that for many women, the ability to work and earn money has given women a lot of latitude and freedom to be able to leave relationships that may not have been what it is that she wanted, either through abuse or incompatibility or need and necessity. So Desi says, I would rather be happy, but long term would help too. I want you to pay attention to what the men are saying, right? I want you to pay attention. B. Yi is saying a man without a woman is nothing. So these men, they want the longevity. Happiness be damned. Happiness be damned, right? This is very interesting. And then whose longevity? Whose longevity, I guess, is the question. Is it the woman's longevity or is it yours too? So BE is saying sexual release, cooked meals, a mama, they can F on, haha. Listen. Oh, so is it the relationship for convenience? Because they're getting intercourse and they're getting maid service, that why should they leave that? So listen, I want to hear. So Desi, Negus, Be Ye, right? Why? Why? Why would you stay in a situation where you're not really happy, where your partner may not be happy, and go for longevity rather than the happiness of both parties? And then when we talk about longevity, are we only talking about the woman's longevity so that you can leave whenever you want, but you're guaranteed that she is still there? Beauty is saying, but the problem is most men seek happiness outside if they are not getting it inside the relationship instead of leaving. Hmm. And then BE is saying convince. Are you saying convincel? Like incels that are for convenience? Is that an exclamation or an L? I think that's an exclamation at the end. So, and reality is saying, why can't we have both? The question is an or question. The question is an or question. It's not, it's a rather question. So you have to choose one of the three, right? So it's just the question. You don't have to enter into the question. You can abstain from the question. I mean, no one is forcing you to be within the confines. However, if you would like to answer within the confines, those are the confines. Happy, long, or unaware of the difference, right? So BE is saying, what you mean, we in scarcity. I do got time to worry about that, all the extra. Negus is saying, I think longevity said be for both parties. Okay. So And you see, I think that this is very interesting that men really seem to be so women. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. So I I I I'm befuddled. So we have another man in the house, Cookie Confidant, who says, "I'd rather be single. The last 4 years of my life have been the best, honestly." This is not the question. The question is now, would you rather be single or the other options? Y'all are making my face muscles, you're making me strengthen my face muscles with this foolishness. And CM is saying they don't care about the happiness of their wife the same way they didn't care about the happiness of their mothers. Yikes. Marcus, oh, so we have another man in the house and says, so I caution all of my female friends to really choose wisely before entering marriage, as they really do carry relationships on their backs most of the time. Women must put themselves first. Okay, very interesting, very interesting. So I'm curious about why do men seem to prefer the longevity of a relationship rather than the happiness of it? I'm curious about that. So we have Gloria who says I choose longevity. So tell us more, Gloria. Is there anybody who's willing to call in? If you're willing to call in, please put up the number 1 so that I could get the phone lines turned on. And then so we can, if you prefer to answer um over the phone, I can turn the phone lines on. But yeah, so I'm curious about this, because so now we have a person whose name is Gloria, so I'm imagining this person is a woman. And so we have a person who may be female who is saying that she would prefer longevity. And reality is saying, I'm thankful that we don't have to choose, never settle. It's just a hypothetical, babe. It's just a hypothetical. That's it. It's just a hypothetical. All right. Beauty is saying most men, when they enter relationships, do significant less work than the woman. So it's very convenient for them. Women do more emotional, mental, and most times even financial, damn it, not the financial too. Negus is saying, I think unhappiness comes from people wanting to control and manipulate others to their needs. Marcus says, both of my parents remarried. My mother's life is literally being drained out of her from her bum ass husband. And my father is thriving. His wife is loving on him, and the man is winning. Oh, wow. BE says, in nature, most men don't get access. It applies here too. Men trying to hold on to options. Cookie says, I think it's control for men and the same reason as some women, the appearance of keeping a relationship. Men want it just as bad. Women just leave more and men will stay even if they're wrong. Interesting. The feeling of happiness is fleeting and should come from within, not from your partner. Hmm. That's a good point that this person brings up. So what's this person's name? Jordan. So Jordan is saying the feeling of happiness is fleeting and should come from within. Can you be happy in a relationship without certain aspects in it? How much? So if you have your cup that is full from your own internal happiness, how much of that stays full while your partner may be draining that happiness out, right? So, Gloria, let's see, Gloria is saying, as a married person, yes, I want to be happy, but there are sometimes periods of hard and unhappiness, just depends on the reasons for the unhappiness for me. And Gloria is saying it shows grit. Okay, we have some other married people in the house. Are you agreeing with this? Are you agreeing that it shows grit to outlast the unhappy times? Does it matter if you're happy in a relationship? I'm curious about that. Is that what's happening nowadays? People don't want to deal with the periods of unhappiness, so they just end up leaving in search for happiness when happiness should be something that is within. So this is very interesting. I'm going to open up the phone line. Okay. All right. There. Phone lines are open. 323-488-3249. Why is my voice coming up on both channels? Was one channel supposed to be on another one for the phone calls? Give me 1 second. Oh, it's red for some reason. Okay. I don't even know what's going on. I need to talk to happening. Let's see. Testing, 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 testing. Okay. Okay. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. All right. The phone lines are open 323-488-3149. You can call in and express yourself if you so choose. If not, I'm just going to continue to take comments. Um, wait, B. Yee says grits is for groceries. Hold on. B. Yee see grits is for groceries. Marriage can be difficult, but y'all like to suffer. Well, but see, are you married though, B. Yee? Because from what it is that I hear, marriage does take a tremendous amount of adjustment on both people's parts, and that it can be very difficult. Even the people, I know a man who just got married. And so him and his wife did not live together before marriage, and he just got married. And a month after marrying, he's talking about it's difficult. Let me grab this call. Give me just 1 second. You're in the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Greetings, Tonya. It's B. Childlike James.
Hi, Bee. How are you? Welcome to the call. All right, so go ahead and express yourself. Let's hear.
So this is only a one perspective of the masterful tapestry of life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm gonna put this out there. I'm gay, so I don't have a dog in this fight. But I was raised around women. I spend most of my time around women. I till this morning, I lead a workout class for women. I'm hearing women complain about men and things. Um, for on the man side, again, as I said, in nature, a lot of times we don't have access, and it still applies into the modern world.
Mm-hmm.
Nikola Tesla said he fears that the male eventually that the man in the human species will be limited to like the participation of the male in the beehive,
Oh,
and at the end of the hmm and at the end of the season or towards the end of autumn, the males are kicked out of the hive.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm let me see, what am I trying to say? I'm saying a lot of times I would say both parties are entering the relationships for the wrong reasons. Just speaking generally, women are more so emotionally dependent, and men are more so narcissistic. Just speaking generally, where the women want to please, and the men, I don't even know the proper term, but we know the stereotype. Goes back to this lack of knowing self. Women liking the feeling of challenging and conquering in women. Men liking the feeling of getting away with things because like they've never really been challenged. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, men subconsciously look for challenge. And if he can find a place where a woman gives him everything and he's not challenged, that's where he gonna rest. Point blank. Period. You're not gonna challenge me, and you giving me access to hoo ha. That's just what it is. I'm not gonna grow. And a lot of men and slash women have gotten caught up in that what perpetual loop. That's my opinion.
Okay, but then, okay, so if you're gay, right, then what
hmm
about in gay relationships? Because you have relationships with men. So how does this apply
hmm
to relationships with men?
Oh shit, it's the same thing. It is the same thing. People get into relationships, really don't know what they want. Myself personally, I was flirting with this one guy, and I'm open. Like if I like you, I like you. I let it be known. And if you spending time around me, I'm not one of those people who's like, do you like me? Do you like me? I'm spending money with you. I'm spending my time with you. I'm doing certain things with you. Like I'm here. I'm present. But in the
Okay,
gay
so
world, again.
so then I guess my question is why? Why in the gay world would men be more honest with one another rather than in heterosexual relationships?
I don't think men are more honest in the gay relationships. I think men get along better, like just naturally, than they do with women. But they lying. What was it? Not to be too vulgar, but I was talking to a friend, a female friend, a lady friend, sorry, a few years ago, and she was like, I was telling her a story about things that I had been through, and she was like, "Damn, gay niggas ain't shit." And I was talking to my sister about some things that I've been through because I recently got my car towed, right? Kicking it with somebody. They sent me the link to their instruction. I mean, to link to register my car at their apartments. It was an old link. My car told, they offered me $50 on that motherfucker. And my sister, I'm talking to my sister, and she like, dang, and she knows my life too, but she like, dang, gay niggas ain't shit. So they lying. I'm gonna say men are lying. Men like women too, but in this aspect, men are lying. Like we're not being honest with nobody. Most men ain't even being honest with their damn selves. So it's like we ain't being honest. Men ain't being honest with nobody. Like that's just it.
But then why? Why would men not be honest, not even with themselves? Why why?
So I would say this is really in my mind. It's simple, but it's nuanced. Okay, so I'm gonna say a lot of men, speaking especially speaking for black men, a lot of men are raised by their mothers, right? But you do have some like very hyper vigilant women out there, but most women aren't hard on discipline. You know what I mean? And then with that, how do I translate that? And with that, accountability, that's it. A lot of times accountability really isn't put into someone. And I was like, I'm not saying it's the woman's fault. She's trying to pay bills and all these other things while raising children or whatever, and without a community as well. It takes a community to raise or a village to raise a child or whatever it is. But we to a degree unconsciously put ourselves in a position where we've landlocked ourselves from community and things because this is my motherfucking baby and things like that or whatever. But with the lack of accountability, I'm not saying that women can't give it, but I think externally, like I don't think that's women's natural modus operandi. You know what I mean? In the household, men are more so like the rule enforcers. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to overgeneralize. But a lot of times men don't get that. So they're raised by women who are stressed. You know what I mean? And that's
Okay.
all they see. And they don't have time to tackle, like, how do I say it? Like I have, again, most of my friends are women, and a lot of times they don't like confrontation. And me, like, I'm coming in, I'm like, let's ruffle some feathers, let's fuck some shit up, let's lift these rocks, let's see what's
Interesting.
under everything.
So
So
socialization. Hold on, I want to look at the time because I want to make sure. So we've been on for 5 minutes. So I'm gonna let you jump off because I want to keep the calls to around 5 minutes. Um,
okay, that's fine, thank you.
thank you so much for calling in and giving your point of view.
All right, I'm gonna jump back on and keep watching.
Okay, cool, cool. That was very interesting. Okay, so the phone lines are open. I am keeping the calls to around 5 minutes. So when you call in, I'm going to let you speak your points, etc. So B Yee was saying that women just are not naturally the enforcers, that men grow up in households with women who are stressed and that's all that they know, and that women are not really laying down the law, I guess, via socialization or whatnot. Phone lines are open 323-488-3149. And so I want to hear your point of view. Why are so many men dishonest about whether or not they're happy in relationships? And then also, what about women? Now that women can work, why would a woman stay in a relationship where she's not happy? And do women stay in relationships where they're not happy? Because the data shows that 80%, 75 to 85, 80% of marriages end because of divorce filed by women. And so are the women staying? Are women more prone and more apt to look for happiness and leave their relationships? Why would the men not leave? Is it because of convenience, right? And then to Marcus's point, I read a stat from oh, tell the give me I'll tell the stat right now. Another call is coming in. You're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, Tonya. I'm a knockout. I'm calling from Chicago. My name is Kim.
Hi, your name is Ken or Can?
Kim. Kim.
Kim. Okay. Well, welcome, Kim. Welcome. All
Thank
right. So
you. Thank
you
you.
have 5 minutes to express yourself.
Um, it's been a stressful week, but to the question about would I rather be happy, would I rather be in a happy or long relationship?
Or just be unaware
So
of the
I,
difference.
or just be unaware. So I was married for 12 years. Um, the majority of it, I was completely unhappy. I wish, looking back, Tanya, like the day that I got married, I was getting dressed and I'm like, why am I doing this? Other than the fact that I was pregnant. Um, it was one of those relationships that was toxic for a while. And once I became pregnant, he was like, well, I've been wanting to marry you. Why aren't we doing it? And I was like, I guess so. And the first year was okay. Then the rest of the marriage pretty much was like, I mean, from one extreme to the other. And before I made the decision to get divorced, I really just sat and thought and was like, I'm at the time I was going to be about 45, and I'm like, the clock is ticking. I knew that he was the type that wouldn't cheat, and he
Mm,
would definitely stay in the marriage even though I wasn't happy. He was
yeah.
willing to stay. And I did have that thought, like, should I just stay and stick it out for the sake of being married and having a companion, or do I leave?
Yeah.
And ultimately, I made the decision to leave because I was just really, really unhappy at times.
Mm. So if he wasn't cheating, do you mind if I ask what type of toxicity existed?
Uh, Oh, I'm happy. So he was one, he was controlling,
Mm,
in the sense that he, if I wanted to go out with friends,
mm.
he would instantly have an attitude that day. And,
Got you.
if I asked, well, what's the problem? He would, make up something else. But it
Got
was
you.
no coincidence that it was only on the times where I wanted to go out. So he was controlling. He was unstable financially. So he would quit jobs just on the
Mm,
blink of an eye. He was blue collar and I'm corporate.
mm.
And he would just come home after, say, 3 months or 6 months of working and say, oh, I'm frustrated with that job. I'm going to have to find something
Oh,
else. I quit.
yeah.
So it was the financial instability. It was the controlling
Got you. Got you. I got it.
behavior.
I don't want to take up the rest of your time with that because you have
Okay,
about two
okay.
minutes left. So say
Okay.
anything
Okay.
else that you wanted to say about the whole
Um,
topic. Did
yeah,
you
I
find
just think
happiness?
that did I or did he?
Did you find happiness?
I'm still finding it, to be honest. I'm happily single. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
I love coming home to just my home. We share a 17-year-old son, but
Mm-hmm.
we have split custody. So on the days where he's with his dad, I just love coming home, walking around the house naked, singing, happy. I can go where I want to go, when I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm finding me, if that makes sense. And I've been divorced now for 5 years,
Mm.
and I'm still reconnecting with, what were all the things that I wanted to do that I just couldn't do because I just wanted to keep the tension down in the
Mm.
home.
Okay.
From a dating perspective, though, I'll be honest, I'm struggling in that area
Mm.
because I just have very high standards and little tolerance now, having
Mm.
gone through that type of marriage. And the minute I see some type of controlling behavior or some type of instability in a
Yeah.
man, I'm like, no, no, thank you.
I got you. Well, thank you so much for calling in and giving your point of view, Kim. That was very important. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll listen now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. And you know what? And I like these 5-minute phone calls because it gives more people an opportunity to call in and express their voice, plus be very pointed with their points. So the phone lines are open 323-488-3149. I've popped my collar. So, all right. So I'm looking for answers. Would you rather be happy? Would you rather your relationship be happy long term? Would you rather have a long relationship, happy, or be unaware? And it seems like for many men, they are okay with a long relationship that they are unaware of their partner's happiness. That happiness is really kind of um a second kind of thing going on. I see someone saying 1 foot. Oh, that's Marcus. I don't know what we're referring to. Okay, so 323-488-3149. I'm happy to have the 5-minute phone calls, but I need people to call in. Otherwise, I could have let the other phone call last a little longer. You know what I mean? Because there were a few phone calls that were coming in back to back. So now's your opportunity to call back in again. 323-488-3149. Save the number so that you can have it available for you when it's time to call in again in the future. So, thoughts? Would you rather have a long relationship, a happy relationship, or be unaware? For me, in that situation that I had with the person who was oh, there's someone calling in on an unknown number. Let's see. You're in the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Blocker, Carolina, South Tonya.
Hi, what'd you say your name was?
Blocker,
Blaka?
yes, Blocker.
Okay, from South Carolina. All right, Blaka. So what is your answer?
Um, I think that happiness is fleeting, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think if happiness depends on emotions, I think it's your absolute sole responsibility to be in charge of your own happiness. And I think that when you get in marriage for happiness and not duty, right? To not ensure the survival of one another, then you have people who end up older, lonely, and bitter, and then prop themselves up as there's few options in which they can have. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of people don't self-reflect to see their own weaknesses. I mean, for example, we just had person was speaking about how they left their marriage for faithful man, which is a lot of women are talking about they want a faithful man, or they want to provide an XYZ, but then when they get these men, they still end up leaving the relationship, Tanya.
Did you hear the
So I mean,
part where she said that it was toxic?
yeah, we heard that part, Tanya, but that was insecurity within that man, right? And we
Okay.
are human. We all have insecurities. Could she not have compromised with that man and say, "Hey, babe, what can I do to make you feel more secure? What can I do to make you feel more loved and know that I wouldn't step out on you?" Right? But there was no compassion in that. It was all you. She labeled it as toxic, and I
Okay,
think that's
so
the issue.
so hold on. So hold on. One of the things that I would love for us to do is to really focus on our own experiences because she only had a 5-minute phone call. You only have 5 minutes, and you spent 2 minutes really kind of, we don't know her full
Okay.
situation. We don't know the extent of that toxicity. If he was overbearing and she felt uncomfortable, like she could not breathe and be herself, then we have to respect the fact that she would rather, she said dating is hard now, but she would rather that than be in that situation. And you're talking about compassion, etc. So let's just talk about you and things that you know for sure. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
I'm guessing that you
All
would
right.
rather have a long relationship than a happy one.
I would rather have longevity, yes,
Hmm.
sustainability, dependability, because I understand that you people fall in and out of love all the time, but
Okay.
but you can still love a person, and if your relationship is contingent upon how in love you are at the moment, Like that's an unrealistic expectation. But I'm gonna say this, Tanya.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the truth of the matter, people. We're all we're living on a floating rock. We didn't ask to be here. We didn't ask to be live within the country that we're in, and etc. Right? We're sent to school. Our parents was forced to send us to school to get us indoctrinated, or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, each and every last one of us, for majority of us, are probably a month paycheck or two from being homeless or being in a dire situation. So when are we as a people are going to learn that it is not us? We are not the problem. It is the things that we have been programmed and conditioned to believe about one another, and we're perpetuating that. It's a lot of
But
broken homes, broken families.
I feel like you're contradicting your own point though, because on the one hand you said we don't self-reflect, but then on the other hand you say we're not the problem. So and then also so let's just scrap that because I really want to kind of get into the heart of the matter. Have you ever been in a relationship that you did not feel was compatible?
Yes, I have.
Okay, how did you deal with that incompatibility? Did you just ignore it? What did you do about it?
Um, I approached it. I saw if it could be resolved. I led with empathy. If it wasn't resolved, then I can agree that we can be friends. We don't have to be enemies, but we can be friends. But
So you
I
ended the
guess that's just a
relationship?
relationship.
Blanca, you ended the
Yes,
relationship?
yes, the relationship.
Why didn't
Yes.
you stay longer even though you were incompatible and not happy?
Um, well, if there were kids involved, if there was marriage involved, I would have. But the reason why I left is because there I didn't see a future with it. I didn't see a place in which I could build. It seemed like it was a waste of time for me to stay emotionally entangled in a relationship.
Okay,
It is
so
not,
you
but the
so
person was
listen, we're coming upon the 5 minutes, so I wanted to ask you this also. You said that you didn't feel that you could build with this person, that that it just wasn't really going to go anywhere, but you did also hear the woman who called in say that the man was not stable, that she didn't feel safe with him, that every few months he would come back and not have a job and just quit his job. So is not cheating enough? Like, are there other things, or are you saying this, that it's okay for the man to leave when he feels that there's incompatibilities, but that woman, oh, she better stay? Answer in 30 seconds or less, please.
no, that's not what I'm saying. If it's a marriage, you've made the vow for better or for worse. If it's a relationship, then it's up to your discretion. Um, yeah. So
Okay.
and
And
I'm
thank
and
you
I'm
so
saying,
much for
yeah.
that. I appreciate that, Blanca. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've heard from several people. So we've heard from one person who said that relationships are, they stay long with the men because the men are used to being able to walk all over women, that women are not setting these boundaries and not putting their foot down. We heard from a woman who said that in her relationship she wasn't really, it was toxic, she didn't really feel safe. She gave us the brief rendition of what was going on, and then a man came in after and said that really doesn't matter. When you get married, you're in prison. You can't get out of them shackles. It is till you die. So you better be very careful whether or not you shackle yourself to a person till death. Well, how much do you need to know about a person before shackling yourself to them? I guess that's my question. Phone number is on the screen, 323-488-3149. Because it seems like men are okay with them leaving for their happiness if there's a pretty young thing with a tight little pencil skirt at work and some high heel shoes and some ruby red lips and some hair flipping side to side. If he thinks his happiness is over there, it seems like some men are all right with him walking on out the door. But you, as a woman, you better stay there and endure. This is what it sounds like to me, right? And that's what it sounds like to me. So phone line are open. There were a few people who were calling in, so now is your opportunity. I know there's a little bit of a delay between when I say the words and whether you you when you hear them. Marcus is saying for better or worse his words. Someone's saying hell nah. Oh, you know what, Marcus? I wanted to give you a stat that I saw from Kimberly Crenshaw. She said that 63% of young men who are in prison between the age of 11 and 20 are in prison for killing their mother's abusive husband. So these abusive partners are either abusive husband or abusive partners. I'd have to look exactly at the stat, but the mother's abuser. And these men are destroying lives in many different ways because then they have sons, and these sons are taking them off of this earth for being abusive to the mother. And so abusive relationships and staying in them have adverse effects on many different people involved. So I'm curious to hear the next person's point of view. My mouse is not. I need a box to put this on so that I could roll my mouse pad. Here we go. I found a box. All right. 323-488-3149. So I just want my mouse is just it's doing whatever it wants, and now I have to use my finger to try to answer this call. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Xavier, and I'm calling from New York. Can you hear me?
Hi, Xavier?
Yes, can you hear me?
Absolutely. So you're on the
Cool.
line. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, wonderful. So you have 5 minutes, Xavier, to explain. Would you rather
Yeah.
your relationship be long, happy, or just not know the difference?
Um, I think that having clarity and truth is always a good thing. Personally, I would prefer to be happy. At this point where things are so unstable in the world, I imagine that people get together for long term for stability.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, I mean, with our economy, what we got going on, we don't know when things can collapse.
Mm-hmm.
And spiritually, if you want to get woo woo, it's like, what is even time? To be honest.
Okay. All right. Listen, I'm
Yeah.
all about that talk now, X.
O-
So
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool.
so
Yeah.
happy. Is happiness fleeting? Is happiness your own personal responsibility? Because if we're gonna get woo
hmm
woo, happiness is an inside choice. So will
hmm
changing the relationship even make you happy?
I think that it starts with you. Of course, circumstances changes, like things like the moon, they phase.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, that's where it becomes a conscious choice. And I think though, in regards to the internal work, I think that even with the challenges, with the correct inner perspective, those challenges can actually create happiness because you're overcoming something together, and there's a
Okay.
reward in that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever been in a long-term relationship?
I I am in right now, and it's kind of not very fun.
Oh.
Yeah. So henceforth,
Oh.
I've been choosing to just be happy and just to enjoy whatever God gives me in the moment. And yeah, I've been feeling the pain and the pleasure of that. The pain of and the pleasure of knowing that there is like long-term love and that it is a struggle. It has been a struggle, but also enjoying the, as you could say, the fleeting moments of what is being presented to me in real time
Oh, if you
and
wouldn't
feeling
mind
both of that.
sharing, what are some of the things that makes it a struggle?
Misogyny, misogyny.
Misogyny. So your partner
I
is
date
misogynistic?
every. I mean, at this point, I feel like misogyny is just. It's like the petri dish that we were conditioned in. It's the poisons in the milk. It's just what we were brought into, and I think that as we mature, we have to do the internal work to undo that. However, for men and for anybody in the hierarchy, right, that's
Yeah.
well positioned, they don't really. once you've inherited the world, it's like, what's the point, you know? and that's
Interesting.
and that's where I actually wanted to ask you
Yeah.
is how is it having these discussions when we know that misogyny is really like the root at a lot of these different things. How is it to talk to people knowing that they're deliberately ignorant to, and I am male assigned at birth, and I recognize that there is so much blatant um deliberate not wanting to see the suffering of women. I actually think that misogyny war is like the root of like both
Okay, so
problems. So
we're
that's
we're
like another
coming
story.
upon your 5 minutes right now.
Okay, sorry.
And so I
Okay.
guess so you said that you're AMAB, assigned male at birth. So are you saying
Yes.
that you're trans?
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of like in between. I'm playing around. It's been fun.
Okay, so you're saying that you're playing around with a in between a transition, just kind of, I guess, dressing up or whatnot. And your partner is misogynistic. And
Yeah,
you're saying that this misogyny is being pushed off onto you, who is a male.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
the point that I was really getting at though is that this is a condition, at least from what I'm seeing, I would hope to see different, but it seems prevalent in most men. And that's why I had asked you, because I feel like you already know the answer. It's just kind of
So
getting
so
a
so
temperature.
but this is the thing that I feel is a little confusing, because
Okay,
misogyny by definition is a hatred of women, right?
okay.
But you're male. So then there are other issues. I guess you're talking about patriarchal programming.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, so there are things that, so like he's oppressive and domineering. Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, and that's what I've been noticing in most men.
Interesting.
Um,
Wow. Well, you know what, X? I would love to talk to you longer, but we've even gone over a little bit. So thank you so
okay.
much for calling in. It was great talking to you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Okay. That was very, very interesting. It makes me wonder how are these patriarchal programming? How is it showing up in men's life, which is deteriorating their relationships, even with other men? This is very interesting and compelling to think about. Um, Let us take in the next phone call, 32348. Oh, is was the volume low? If the volume is low, you all have to tell me, because I don't know. But next time I'll get the volume up for you all. 323-488-3149. Would you rather your relationship be long, happy, or you just not know the difference? Tonya TKO, if you're just coming into the broadcast, we're taking live phone calls right now from callers who are expressing their different points of view about relationships. We've had several phone calls so far. One of the phone calls was from a woman who was married, and she said at 45, she had the rest of her life to live. She had a child that was fairly independent, and she said, I'm going to do what's right for me by getting out of this unstable relationship. Then we had a person call in right after her who said, no, 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 no. Marriage is better or worse, and you better stay there till death do you part. He says that the problem, that many people are not looking at themselves, but then he also said that the problem is not us. That was a confusing call for me. Then we had another call that came in after, where we have a man who is expressing that his partner was misogynistic, and that the problems that he sees in this relationship affect many men. The patriarchal programming of domination and being oppressive to others is something that came up. But then it makes me wonder, misogyny is a hatred of women, but how does that translate into a man loving man relationship? We have another call coming in right now. You're on the air live with Tanya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Dion Taylor, and I'm from South Carolina.
Hi, we have Deontay calling in from South Carolina. So, Deontay, please express yourself. You have 5 minutes to talk about your point of view on the topic.
No, it was Dion Taylor, not Deontay.
Oh, my bad. Dion,
No problem.
welcome. Welcome to the phone call, Dion.
Yes. My thing on this whole topic is very simple and short for me. Um, like you said, I think happiness is within. So being that happiness within, a lot of times people go into a marriage looking for happiness in a marriage when they haven't found happiness in themselves first. See, I'm married now, going, this is 16 years for me.
Okay.
I'm 16 years in. November will be 17 years for me. My wife and I, we met 1 month, 3 months later, we were married, and now we're 16 years in.
Okay.
We went through some rough patches and all the stuff here, but it's just like the weather. I think nature show us ourselves sometimes. Some people like summer, some people like winter. When the winter comes, they hate it. But when summer comes, they're happy. Marriage is like that sometimes. You're going to have moments where you're not uh, things are not going well. Things are not going good. You may seem like you're not happy, but guess what? That season got to go. And then that summer season or that winter season is coming around again. So why do
Yeah.
we pull out just because things just don't look good at that moment when it's coming back around again? Because nothing really lasts forever.
Well,
So
you
at
know
the
what?
end of
You
the
bring up
day,
some
we need
good
to,
points. You bring up some good points. Typically, when I hear men say that we've gone through a quote unquote rough patch, it usually involves infidelity on the part of the man.
well, sometimes, but I look at this. I think it's, I don't give anyone a higher or lower percentage. I think that men cheat, women cheat. I think
So
women mess up, men mess
I
up.
guess my question is the rough patch that you went through in your marriage, did it involve your infidelity?
Oh, none. Mm-mm. No, ma'am.
Okay.
We just had those moments where we married each other and got to the part where we didn't really know each other because we cut from two different cloths. So we're
Okay.
trying to come together where she thinks this on this and I think this on this, or we're not measuring up on how to discipline the kids or how
Uh-huh.
much is too much, and things like that comes up. But
Got
other
you.
than just want to go out and leave her, no, she didn't give me a reason to. She does what I feel a woman should do for me. And I feel that I do what a man should do for her. So therefore, there is no need for me to go out there and find anything as long as she giving me what I need. What's the purpose?
Okay.
And
Okay.
sometimes she may not feel up to it. I mean, she might be going through a moment, or and I have to understand that she's a woman. She sometimes get emotional or getting hurt feelings, and I have to understand that sometimes as being a man. I
Okay,
just don't go
got
out and
you.
look for something somewhere else because I know that same woman that I married, she's coming back around again. So why should I go out and
Uh,
look for something else?
okay, so that you know what, you bring up a good point. Thank you, Dion. Are you home right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, okay. You all have children?
Yes, we have 3 kids.
Okay, okay, okay. And so basically, you're saying that the rough patches are just basically you all trying to get to know one another because you all got married really early into getting to know one another, correct?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. Question for you. What's going on with that smoke alarm beeping in the background?
See, I do have eyesight issues, so sometimes I wait for others to change that battery for me. It's just the battery that need to be changed in that smoke detector. I'm so sorry about the noise, but
Oh, no, 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 no. Because
sometimes
I
that's
because I feel like the smoke detector battery unchanged is indicative of other things that are left undone.
say that again.
I feel that the battery smoke alarm indicator chirping in the background is oft indicative of
Hmm.
other things left undone.
Such as,
I don't know. I don't know because something is not being attended to. What that is, I don't know because I'm not in your household. The smoke alarm is indicative of other things.
well, and this is the thing with that, with my smoke detector. not only does it runs by battery, but it's also connected to the house.
Mm-hmm.
So the battery indicator just lets me know that the battery needs to be changed, even though it's not dead. It just needs to be changed. But also, it have another power source that's connected to it, so it still does its job until that battery is being changed. It still is connected to the power source in order to do what it needs to do. Needs to be done.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So everyone in the house, you, the wife, the children, everyone is dealing with that beeping sound.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Well, we've come upon the 5 minutes. I appreciate you calling in and giving your point of view. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
It's really it's kind of like the back in the days when I had teeth issues, like um going to the dentist every 6 months is a luxury. Going to get your teeth professionally cleaned is a luxury. When you are not doing those things, it's indicative of other things in your life that are not being tended to, because the things like your teeth are not you're not on top of that. I encourage all of us to take the time to look at the things that seem little, because they're indicative of other things that are not being tended to, whether it's your teeth, your annual checkups, getting that finger in there when you got to go get your thing, get your stool checked, you get your BP and all of these. It's like there's so many other things that go into, you know, having a fully working, well oiled machine. When that check engine light comes on, when the air pressure light comes on, when your smoke detector alarm is chirping, because in 5 minutes, we don't really know what's going on in anyone's life, right? One of the things that and you know what, listen, there was one class that I had where the professor asked if anyone had any questions, and I raised my hand because I had a question. And when I asked my question, the professor was like, seems like you're not doing the reading. And I was like, oh, 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 because I wasn't, right? Last week when I was at my this workout class, I decided to go right into the front, and I took my shoes off so I could work out, because I'm coming from being in a home environment where I typically work out without my shoes on, because I like for my feet to be able to grip the floor. Because I came to the front and I had my shoes off, the instructor was able to see my feet and to tell me, no, that's not acceptable. But I put myself in the front in order for that to happen. So when people do call in and you open yourself to questions, there are any number of things that can be brought to the forefront. I hope that makes sense, right? So phone lines are open. We're going to take one more phone call, and then I do have some evening classes and a meeting with a professor this evening. I'm doing uh, a a thesis project, and I need to meet with this professor to see about whether or not this person will sponsor my research, right? So nonetheless, telephone lines are open. 323-488-3149. You have listen, people are commenting what they're commenting. My only point is, right, because we had a truck driver that called in once that talked about his wife and how his wife was well taken care of. But upon asking a few different questions, it turns out that his wife had a lot of things on her plate. There was a lot of stuff going on with her. And when you peel back from the surface, listen, 323-488-3149. Telephone lines are open. Telephone lines are open. Now, Desi is saying you're supposed to change your smoke detector battery twice a year. Usually, when you change your clocks, daylight savings time is coming up on March 8th, but he needs to change his now. He said it's connected. So he's not on the line anymore to defend himself. He said it's connected to the main power, so the smoke alarm is still working. It's just creating that chirp to just let them know that the battery does need to be changed. My whole thing is everyone in the house has to deal with this chirping sound until they have to get used to it. What else do people have to get used to that is inconvenient or otherwise? One last phone call, 323-488-3149. Listen, I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Kimon. Welcome, welcome into the house. I'm taking phone calls. Tonya TKO here. I'm a life coach and a self-love specialist. For those of you who don't know, as a trained life coach, I'm trained to ask you the questions that can help dig a little bit deeper into what may be going on, right? We're hearing from people who are talking about their relationships. Would you rather the relationship be long, happy, or you just not be aware of the difference? And I gave some examples of some relationships that I had had recently that happened, like some things had happened and I was unaware that this person was not completely happy. I'd given this person, ample opportunities to have sit downs with me, and the person just said everything was all right, that he was happy, he was satisfied, and all of this other stuff. And then before you know it, I seen him back on the platform interacting and engaging with other people for pay. For more pay than I was offering. But the man never said nothing to me. So what could I do if you don't let a person know what's going on? So now I suppose our relationship is over. 323-488-3149. So Julia is saying the chirping alarm may have just went over his head. He may not be taking care of business in other ways and doesn't realize it. I mean, this is how you do anything is how you do everything. And when you see that something is in need of attention and you don't take care of it when it comes up as being in need of attention, like let's say you have a little crick in your knee, you have a little chirp in your alarm. If you're not taking care of that, what else are you not taking care of? I hope that I made that abundantly clear, right? Desi is saying happiness is more important to me. Time is the one thing we can't get back. But Desi, didn't you say something a little different earlier? Now you changing it up? What you talking about, Willis? Marcus is saying, OMG, did that really happen? It did happen. It did. It did. It did. You can scroll back to hear the story, but basically I was working with a person for a few years, and yeah, the person, when I tried to pay the person more, the person was like, no, I'm happy with what I'm being paid. But I guess he thought he was doing me a favor. But when all was said and done, he decided to go get work elsewhere and just leave my projects hanging in the wind. And so here we are. Here we are. And then I guess when that other work dried up a little bit, he came back to me. And I'm like, I'm already out the algorithm now, son. What you doing? What you talking about? So nonetheless, Mika is saying, or is that Milka? Milka is saying, when I first moved into the house I lived in, it drove me crazy until I got my batteries and swapped them all out. And it was horrible because it was different batteries for multiple different alarms. Listen, during the pandemic, my father was trapped in the Caribbean. He couldn't get back to the house. And the smoke alarms, one by one, started. And in the home, it's like one of those pre-colonial homes, so it had like really high ceilings. And I had to get up on a very high ladder And I had to get up there and I had to figure out how to change these batteries in all of these smoke detectors because I was the one who, as the eldest in the home, I was the one who had to care for everybody. I had to keep everyone safe. I had to protect everyone. And part of that protection was making sure that the maintenance was up to par. And one of the things that were part of the maintenance was the battery. So we had there are different types of things that it takes to maintain a house. There's the yard outside that needs to be cleaned. There's the garbage. There's the batteries and the in the smoke detectors. There's the batteries in the remotes. There's the boiler, the heating system, the water. What do you call that thing? The water, what do you call that thing? The tube, the circular thing that the water, the hot water heater. There are all of these things that need maintenance. And if we are willing to sit there and allow the smoke alarm in our own home to chirp, what other things are we not paying attention to? I'm going to close the phone lines right now because it seems like I've scared other people from calling. What can I say? Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to scare y'all off. My bad. My bad. So I'm going to turn off the phone lines right now. I appreciate each and every one of you for calling in and giving your point of view. Okay, it's Mika. Okay, 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 okay. Marcus is saying, you are awake and alert. I get the impression that dude wasn't, to be honest. Well, listen, I am appreciative of every person who had the courage to call in. It's not easy to put yourself out there on Front Street in a recording that lasts forever online. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, I am going to allow you all to just put in your final comments. I'm going to just get prepared to see these final comments, and I want us to start thinking about our self-love lessons from today's broadcast. What is it from today's broadcast that allowed you a deeper connection to your own internal self love? Oh, excuse me. What is it that allowed? Oh my goodness, my belly is empty, and I gotta eat. My stomach is empty. My ex maintains my entire home, and he doesn't even live here. He does filters, flushes the system, grass, yard, water softener, replenishing, shoveling, etc. He has no excuse. Jordan, you're calling this person your ex, but you're still in a relationship with this person. You have this man coming around maintaining your home, which means that he's taking up a space that will not be filled by someone else. Because I don't know what other person is going to have another man coming over, dangling himself around the place and taking care of all of these things inside the home. I really don't know. And so, one of the things that I had to learn from one of my old relationships is that while I have another person up in my face, it may be convenient, but this person is also keeping me single. This person is keeping me single because I am still in a quote unquote relationship with this person. The relationship just isn't an intimate one, but the relationship is still there. And so, Jordan, I encourage you to start thinking about ways that you can gain your own independence. It may be convenient for this person to do these things, but everything has a cost. What is the cost that you are paying to have this person who you are no longer romantically interested in, to have this person still coming to your house to take care of all of these maintenance things? Oh, okay. So she's saying we have children. I don't want that space filled, honestly. LOL. Okay, so I guess she's happy with the type of relationship that they have. However, you're calling this person your ex. A little old me. I'm gonna mind my business, but it seems like you two are still in a relationship and you don't want that space filled by anybody else. There's already someone in that space. So listen, I'm not going to ask you intimate questions from the comment section. However, how in what other ways are you all in a relationship? You know what I mean? And if that is the case, why call this person your ex? Is he in another relationship? Is this a new breakup? Because if he were in another relationship, I can't imagine that his new woman would be okay with him coming dangling around inside your house. You know what I mean? So I know as a woman that many of us as women, we consider it to be a flex when we still have men investing in us in certain ways. However, as I've grown older, I realize that nothing in life is free, and there's still a cost associated with engaging with people in certain ways. Like there's cost to going out to dinner with a person. There's cost to maintaining, you know, connection with a person. You all are making my cheeks hurt. Listen. Jordan is saying, Tonya, I understand, but notice Jordan didn't answer the question. In what other ways, for all intents and purposes, are you two still entwined? That's the question. So on that note, I'm going to mind my business. Let's start getting into the self-love lessons. So I want you to type out SLL. Let me get on a little music in the background. Thank you to the people who contributed. We do have the music back up and running. So let me see if I can find and I'm going to charge this mouse. Let's see what we have here for music. Oh no, that is not English. That says J-pop. Let me move around because I'm not into the appropriation. All right. So let's type out SLL and let's get our self-love lessons up and running. Oh, this is too much. I wasn't expecting all of that. All right, type out SLL, and then I want you to type out your self-love lesson. So the self-love lesson needs to be stated from the I, me point of view, and it needs to be stated from the positive affirmative, so no words like don't, not, never. So you're just going to type out what you are. I don't know what's going on with this song. Let me get this off my thing because this is a little too much for me at this moment. That was a little too much. All right. So SLL, and then type out your self-love lesson, and I'll give you all my self-love lesson afterwards. So for those of you who are old heads, go ahead and type out your go ahead and type out. Jordan is saying he does it for the safety of the children. I hear what you're saying. I just wonder if there were another man in the house, if he would still be doing that for the safety of the children. I mean, it's obvious that he's doing that because you're still single and you're saying you don't have the capacity. I hear you, my dear. Let's get into the self-love lesson. Self-love lesson. Robert, you were here this whole time and you didn't answer any of the questions that we had here. Let's continue going forward. Marcus says, I will choose, let's see. I will choose the path that honors my heart. Hold on. I'm trying to get this thing off. I will choose the path that honors my heart, even if it requires courage. I will choose relationships that nourish my spirit. I choose awareness because awareness is what protects my peace. Okay. I'm not reading your question, your comment, misbehaving. Okay. Mika says, I find a handyman. Let's get into the self-love lesson. Knowing what I deserve and choosing that every day. Wonderful. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's see a few more, and then I'm going to give you all my self-love lesson from today's broadcast. All right, come on. I want to see some more self-love lessons. There's a lot of people in here, so I want to see some more self-love lessons. Robert saying I was busy. Okay. All right. Live, learn, and laugh every day, says Desi. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right, let's see some more self-love lessons. Let's see some more. And I'm thinking of my self-love lesson from today's broadcast. So I will say that my self-love lesson from today's broadcast is to stay firmly rooted in the truth, knowing that others may share a different truth. That as long as I stay true to my truth, then I will be all right. I will be all right. That is my self-love lesson. To stay firmly rooted in truth and to continue to search for more and more connected ways of truth, because honestly, from a lot of the calls that we heard, we don't know what somebody else's truth is. We don't, but I know what my truth is, and I am going to honor myself. I honor myself. So on that note, listen, I will see you all in the next broadcast. I will give you all a hug. Thank you all so much. I appreciate every person who called in. We have Misbehaving that says, I choose me, will choose me until the end, and open making spaces for additional love that blissfully long lasts. All right, give me a hug, you all. I will see you all in the next broadcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I can't hear my applause. Oh, my mouse is not behaving right.
Make this go away. I need a top shelf drink to set me straight, and a little bit of honey to make this go away. Don't even chew her prey, swallow me whole. It's just a little bit of heart, but that's just how it goes. It's just a scratch, a little water in the tank like a flat. Oh, tired but your chain's just a bad dream, but I gotta wake up, let it go. Morning, keep on coming, I can use a blackout. Give me something to drink, cause I don't wanna think. But now, knock me right out, filling me up, she's out of my mind. Looking at my confidence and talking to a stranger. She told me to leave, and goddammit, I see her point. It's time to go home, I know. But when I close my eyes, I can bet my money it's her I'm gonna see, and it ain't that funny. Sugar sweeter than pie, until a little time flies and you see what's on the inside. Man, you're gonna feel like you wanna cry. She's a bad song, it goes on and on, like it's non-stop, but I'm holding on. She's a bad, bad dream, gotta